Too late, 3 o'clock. Sorry.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
All right.
Okay. So, we at least have a roll call. Calendar vacant, Laura Shepherd,
Julia Stockwell.
Mary Jane Churchill.
Everybody's got copies of the agenda. Okay.
Okay, so, are there any additions or deletions? I don't have.
Well, I don't know if it comes under additions or not.
What is that?
Well, it's, signs. That are.
No,
Is it?
no, we're gonna talk about that.
We are, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Building Commissioner Robert Garside is briefing us on his visit to the brick store. Okay,
Oh,
Mr. Garside, please. Oh, here's
Hi,
Claire.
Claire.
Oh, good. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Jane.
Called the meeting to order. I just included you as a present. And we're starting our meeting with Bob Garside, who's the building commissioner. He's going to speak to us about his visit to the brick store.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the brick store, actually, I did not visit him. I called him,
Okay.
but I did drive by twice. He has 4 signs out there that will, you know, a beer, like 2x3 beer / cigarette signs.
Mhm.
He's only allowed 2 in the historical district of, I think, like the 10 square feet each.
Mhm.
I called him, I went in, actually, I did go in, I'm sorry, I talked to, I think his son. He did call me the next day. I told him that he was only allowed 2 of the 4 signs. I went by that afternoon and the two of them were down. So he's down to 2 signs.
That's good.
Yeah, he's good right now. I mean, he has 2 white blank things.
You know, I saw that.
Is it gonna come back? Yeah, I mean, yeah, 6 months, he's gonna put 2 more up, but no, he understood he had 2,
Okay.
and I went by that afternoon, they were both down immediately, so,
was there anything on the porch when you went by?
no, I think he had one of those temporary swinging signs, that's it.
So in the windows, it doesn't count, right? The signs in the window?
No, they count.
They count.
Those
So-
are the 2 you're talking about, right?
That's what I saw, is he had 2, and I think he had an open sign. But he had 2 6-square-foot signs,
Yeah,
that's it,
so we just keep our eye on, is that?
that's
what
it,
you're
I
saying?
mean, and I think one of them is covering a broken pane on the door, so, yeah, one of them's on the door, so you remove that one. So it's a sign, the door's removed, he has a sign, and then the next bay is removed. It just, I don't foresee a problem with him, I think he understands where he is,
Okay.
and he understands that he can only do so much, you know what I mean? It's
No, I get it, I do get it, but as long as we stay on these things, at least for
Yep,
the residents to see
Yep.
that we're not whacking.
no, I agree,
And I wanna thank you for going out and handling that for us, thank you.
no problem, anytime.
Jerry, do you wanna bring up your sign?
Well, the historic district has been very faithful to allowing people to put up signs 2 weeks before the event. Is this correct?
I believe that's the town rule and the historic.
If it's a temporary sign, I'm not sure what the town rules are, but typically temporaries, you're allowed a certain time before it, and then you have to have it down almost immediately after. That's how most zoning works.
Do we, is there a particular time that they are allowed out? I mean,
In the historic district, it's, I believe, 2 weeks before the
2 weeks before?
event,
Okay, thank you.
which means the historical society is in violation.
There's one out
Just
for
saying.
the.
Yeah, I know it.
He knows, I know it.
Oh, okay.
You got a problem? I know it.
Well, I was gonna ask him the same question to reinforce, thank you, you want to, reinforce my knowledge of the law, and bylaw. Because that needs to come down until a month time.
Like April 12th or something.
No, the seventh, probably the 7th of the,
April
at
7th.
least get us into April. I mean, this is only March, that thing's not gonna happen for
Who is it?
5 weeks.
Historical Society, of which we have the president saying right here.
I know, it's just, you know what, those are the ones,
They were the worst.
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna tell you what my 2 cents is. My 2 cents is if it's a town organization, or if it's like a school organization or a school play,
Let it go.
that's my personal opinion. I let those kind of roll
For the town.
for the town and for the schools, and, you know, they having a play and they want to put a play, and hey, you know what, it's a community event.
I just wanted to.
Like the dinner at the churches or something, it's a community event.
Right,
If,
right, right.
if it's Jimmy's Roofing, you're out of here,
Okay.
you know, that's how I usually look at it. Somebody's painting, you're out, but it's a community event,
So what would you say would be reasonable for a community event? Would 2 weeks be reasonable?
I think, well, I mean, I think 2 weeks before, but it depends, you know, I mean, if it's like a town meeting. it's
Oh,
special.
yeah.
But,
We did
I mean,
that,
how,
yeah.
when is this event?
April 19th.
Yeah, put it down, kick it down to April first.
Yeah,
Let's at least
right.
get to April, I agree with you,
Yeah.
let's get to April, there's no need to having it up in March tenth,
Right.
there's none.
Thank you
What?
very
Are
much.
you technically a commissioner or are you the building inspector?
I am technically the building commissioner, ma'am. I have a
Okay.
license that says I'm a building commissioner.
Okay, I just wanted to
I
ask,
did, but
just wanted to ask.
Oh, water.
there's transparency, I'll see you.
Thank you.
All right, let me know, yeah, if you need me to help. Take it down, but like I said, that's my rule of thumb, if you guys wanna change it, that's fine, it's like, there's kids who having plays and there's Boy Scout events and,
Right,
Right,
thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thanks,
thank
Becky.
you.
But we did hold our event to the correct time.
We did, yes. Other members. So do you consider yourself noticed, or should I send?
I shall
something?
consider myself noticed.
Thank you.
However, would you like to, notify the
I will,
proper authorities
yes, I will.
to remove it?
I'm
And it was-
confused. What did I lose here? What is she notifying you of?
She's gonna notify the person who put the sign up that it has to be removed until.
Until a
April
certain
1st.
time.
What sign is this? For the Historical Society?
But actually, no,
No,
it's
it's
for
not.
the,
I don't know how the historical society.
I don't know how they get in on that.
Uh,
This is-
right,
this is-
right.
This is the,
Yeah,
this is the
because they're
march,
members of
the trail march,
society.
right? Okay,
the trail march, right?
Yeah.
On April 19th.
yeah,
So it's actually a town event.
yeah, it is a town event.
Yeah. It is,
All right, I'll send him a letter. I'll be nice.
yeah, April 1st.
April 1st, you can put it back.
Oh, yeah, if we're gonna do this, we have to abide by our own rules,
That's right.
right?
What?
I
If
agree.
we're gonna do this, we need to abide by our own
I
rules.
Oh,
agree
yeah,
with you.
absolutely. I don't, I see what he's saying and I kind of agree with him, but it's gonna give everybody
It's
else.
gonna give everybody else the
They
same
do it.
deal.
Right.
Who is in charge of that one then? Who's put the
John
sign there?
Barrett, John Barrett.
John knows, right, yeah.
Well, I'll send one to John and to Bill, just
Okay.
to cover everybody in the world. All right, so the
Do I
next,
need to say any more?
No.
No, okay.
okay, so the next item is an application I sent. Did everyone get it? Because it's very long and I didn't print it, but I will print it if you want it.
What is it?
It's the application for Elizabeth Donison and Daryl Hurwitz at 452 Main Street. And their issue is that they have a 60 amp electric service right now, and they have to
Jack, push it
push it up to a bigger one. And they really want their current meter, I have a photograph right now. It's on the front of their house.
You sent you sent it to everybody,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yes,
yeah.
so it's right at the
at the door.
front at the door. And they want to move it to the side of the house. So they're having a bit of an issue with Unitel. But
With you,
they,
Mhm.
yeah, Unitel doesn't
You
want to
didn't
move
read
it.
it?
So
Here.
no, that's all right.
they came to
I
us
think I did read
to
it.
see if to give an opinion, our opinion on because they're not grandfathered with this because they're moving.
Mhm.
Historic
Okay.
district doesn't have grandfather clauses. If you've done something and it's not in the right place and you want to renovate or move it, you don't get to put it back where it was. Am I correct on this, Claire? You have to go where it's supposed to be.
Hmm.
So it's as if we don't have a grandfather clause, if you will. So this is on the front. Unitel is saying that that's where it's gotta be because that's where it is. They're saying, no, we want to move it to the side and they're willing to pay for it. So it's not as if they're trying to,
But also,
What was the thing about the danger to the workers?
it's, yes, dangerous to the owner, it's dangerous to the electrician. And, because they have to go through the roof and they really can't do it because they have to put metal underneath the porch. So they have to tear the porch apart.
but that's on them.
It is on that, but it's on the Unitil. I've never seen Unitil do it. If you go up Elm Street, every single one of ours is on the right-hand side and it's not in the driveway side.
But it's not in the historic district.
No, but even if you go, they have great pictures there of the two building next door neighbors, which is on the right side. And then also, they just redid the fire station down the center. Where is that? That's
On the
behind,
center.
down the harbor. That's behind the building. You got a picture of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if
Yeah, there are
Unitil
a lot
allows
of various
that,
places.
if Unitil allows that, which is a recent one, then why are they want him to pave the driveway beside it? There is space there, and it's like a
Yeah, I
flat
saw
area.
that, I saw that.
Unitil
yeah.
wants the owner to pave it. I'm missing
Why?
a lot of this.
Yeah, he wants the owner to pave it,
Why?
because it's not safe for the people to put a
They don't
thing
even
on
get out
there.
of their cars,
That's
sorry,
right.
reading
Well,
the
they have to
meter.
put from the pole, the new pole to the house. So,
Well,
and they
couldn't
have to
the-
use, they explain that they have to use, one of those things that, the sky thing that they put up.
the boom.
Yeah, they have to
Yeah.
use the boom and it's not, safe for their people. But there's certainly enough room for them to do that in there.
For Unitil, you're talking.
Unitil, yeah. It's
So
really
whether-
not our problem. I mean, they've got to sort it out with Unitil before they come to
And if
us.
he brought his own electrician in to go through the basement.
Oh, yeah,
it's
and
their
if you
problem.
look at it, I don't know if you've seen this. This is on the thing, but this is what the electrician said. And it's.
Yeah, I read, I
Yeah,
saw the
that's
documents.
their electrician,
Yeah,
correct?
but I think he's very appropriate, but this is still something we can't do.
Yeah, but we can say that their application is, we can give them a
We could-
certificate of applicability for their request to move it from the front of the house to the side.
And then after that, it's their.
Then they
Yeah,
have
I
to deal
guess
with
you
that,
can,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, yeah, let them fight that battle, but as far as
Yeah.
we're concerned.
Yeah.
I would prefer as visually that they put it on the side to conform.
Oh, I would too, and for safety reasons too.
Yeah.
I mean, you really.
Oh,
Because,
no, I mean,
because of the porch and everything and what they said, what the electrician said,
I don't
yes.
blame you.
Well, I'm also, my house is all the way on the left and nowhere near my driveway. Mine
That's
too, me too.
Most of
yeah.
them are not near
Oh
the
my God,
driveway.
mine's not near the driveway either. They have to actually get out of the car. They come to my house and go up
They
steps.
do, they come out the street
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
walk on the side of my yard
Yeah,
to the side of my house. They're not on my driveway.
there you go. So Unitil is just
Being
being corporate
really
bully.
technical
Yeah.
for some reason, I don't know why.
Because they probably don't want it because it's gonna cost money. God forbid they'd have to
They're
spend
it's
it.
gonna cost them money anyways to do it,
Yeah,
because they still
a
have to
lot.
go through the porch to upgrade it.
No, I think the people realize.
And then it will not be historically correct.
What do you mean?
Because the porch gets.
Yeah, because the porch, because the cover of the porch covers it, but if they move the thing, they have to move it, they wanted to move it to the back side of the house. So then it's not gonna be historically correct, because they have to take it off the front porch anyway.
Wait a minute.
They're
What?
gonna have to change it anyway. That's what Unitil has suggested. So they're
Oh,
suggesting.
we're not
to
gonna
change-
go with Unitil's suggestion. We're
I
gonna-
know, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. They'd still have to have a permit to come in and do it, even if they put it on that side. They're agreeing to moving it in the back side, on the driveway side.
The
They're agreeing to
owners
that.
are
No,
agreeing.
Unitil is.
They want it on the driveway side, so they don't have to step on the grass.
Yeah, that's it.
But from the road to the back of the house is twice the distance.
That's right. They wanted it on the northeast side of the house to move it.
Mine's not there.
Wait a minute.
No, mine's on
Mine's
my
on the west.
mine's on my
I have no
southwest.
idea. I have no idea. Where would that be? Northeast, in the back?
On the back side of the house. And what the owners are saying in that case is that their shingles, their shutters are off right now being restored, so
Mhm.
that would interfere with them putting it back on the house again. And then again, it would be not historical.
Well, they've gotta put them back the way they took them off.
That's right. So that's part of the issue they're having. Unitil's causing a really
From the
issue.
back of the house.
I don't have my pictures with me.
If I have the pictures right here.
It's not, if you don't.
I
And you
have
see it
can't
from
see
the
it from
road,
the back.
If
You
you
can't,
can't
well,
see it-
you
Oh, I
can't
saw
see it from
those.
anywhere, correct, Claire?
Mhm.
You can't see it from the road.
From the road.
They wanted to be put back here on this back side of the house because because of the porches, I guess.
Right.
That's what
They
they
being
said.
the client.
Being Unitil.
Oh,
The clients want it on this side of the house, which is here. And they want it, down lower, you can see where they want it lower, which is where mine is, mine's almost just above the ground.
Oh, so
it's
Yeah,
above the ground.
yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't interfere with the shutters that they have to put
Anything.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, with
And
anything.
Unitil has got the apartment, this is the one, the fire station, which is in the back,
Mhm.
okay, and this is the one on the old fire
They don't wanna
station,
do the
used to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they use that.
They're gonna have to do the work anyways, one way or the other. So, I
Well-
mean, I don't understand, this one, you can't even see it, it's hidden behind the
So
fence.
what we can say is that
We
we
approve it, right?
a certificate of applicability can be approved for the client's request to put the meter on the, what, the north side, did you say? No,
The west side.
the west side. We'll give them permission to do that.
Mhm.
I mean, well, we'll make a motion and we'll go through, but I mean, it's not like we can fight the battle further than that.
No,
We
you're
can
right.
say that it's applicable to have it on the side,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much as far as we can go with the
That's what the electrician
Unitil
is saying, by the way.
argument.
Yeah, I read it. I did, I saw it.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. I don't think we're overstepping anything
I don't think we are.
by discussing it and taking a vote.
Yeah, so if we approve where they're gonna place it,
Placement only, that's all we're dealing with. We're
Right.
not dealing with,
then Unitil has either, and they've already, said that they would move it off the porch, because that's why I said they wanted to move it to the east,
yeah,
northeast side.
right.
Um, I don't know, but the neighbor next door is on the right side, exactly where they wanna place it. So I don't know what Unitil's, and they don't have a driveway on the other building, if you look at the other
Yeah, I
building,
saw that.
the one he recommended.
Yeah.
So. I don't know, you're right, but I think they'll have to fight this out with Unitil. But if you wanna give them permission for a certificate of appropriateness.
Applicability to move it from the front.
You know, I
do
question
too, I
when they
agree.
come to read that. They don't even get out of their car.
No, they have a little thing now that does
Yeah,
it.
and I don't know that they even slow down,
And
because
now,
I've never seen anybody come through my yard.
and now they're changing the meters, so you're gonna get
Those are the
electric.
gas meters.
Some people have.
No, I got a notice from my electric meter. They're changing electric meters to make them more digitally, responsive.
Well, we just had our gas meter at the Reed House changed just last week.
Yeah.
And they just gas. We didn't get any notice from
The
from
electric? Well, I got a notice for the electric.
I
just had mine done.
My water. leak. I don't, I
Yeah,
guess it's like,
I
oh,
didn't
we're
get
gonna
any.
change everything.
well, because everything is going like digital, okay.
Right.
Okay, so
So
what we're
we
doing
have a-
now
We're
with
gonna have
them,
a motion. Everyone, can I have a motion? from-
Yes, I'll make a motion to, approve the applicability certificate for Elizabeth Johnson, Daryl Hurwitz at 452 Main Street, West Townsend.
Second that.
Any discussion further?
I think we ought to be more specific and say that any, any action taken on the porch would be detrimental to its stability.
I don't know if we can say that. I don't know if we can say that. We're not.
Any
we're not
action taken on the
architectural
porch? No, I think
structure.
we should wait for that, Claire, in case they have to
Yeah.
do something on the porch. Because they're removing an obstacle from the historic architecture.
I mean, when they
To
take up,
replace it, to put it back into its original historic,
Mm-hmm.
by taking this meter off. This meter is dead center in that porch.
Right.
I think if they want to do anything to the porch, they would have to come back and ask us.
That's not their request.
Correct.
no,
Correct.
that's right.
Are
So
you
we're
thinking of damage when the
Yeah,
meter?
damage to the porch if Unitil has the away.
Well, there's gonna be some damage to the porch anyways, because there's a conduit that goes up through the top of the porch, so they know they're gonna have to repair that, but,
All right, so I hear where you're coming from.
But that conduit is gonna be removed.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but
all
that's
right, so
not
we're
necessary.
giving them permission to move the meter from front to side.
Yeah.
Do you want them to come back when they have the plans for the movement and what they're gonna do to the porch, or is that not an issue?
It might be necessary.
I don't think it's an issue either, Mary Jane, because like I said, it probably wasn't there to begin with. And remember what Alicia said at the last meeting? I wasn't here, but I saw it on YouTube because I did the notes from it. But, you know, it's structurally not part of the building. It's
Correct.
something that can be removed.
Yes, yes.
Right? So therefore, you know, I don't think that is technically part of the colonial part of the building, the actual structure of
The
the,
meter, it's
That's
removable.
right.
That's true. So any work that they would do, they'd have to put it back to store. They can't change the column.
Yeah.
They can't change the,
and they're not
Siding,
going to,
well,
they're
I
probably
can't
just
change
gonna, they're probably just gonna repair where the meter comes out
Okay.
of the building, yeah, I assume, because why would they go through the whole
Or
building?
to like condition.
Yeah,
like to like
yeah.
condition, right?
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
Okay,
agree. So we're gonna,
so,
on this.
well,
So
wait a minute, what's the motion again now? Sorry, Laura.
to approve.
The motion was to approve the applicability certificate for Elizabeth Beth
And Dominique.
and yeah, General Horowitz, or I don't know if you say it, okay,
Yeah,
at
Horowitz.
452 Main Street, West Townsend. For their application.
Who seconded
Jerry,
it? Thank you, Sherry.
Abby's have a vote.
Your own mistake is yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Blair Culp, yes.
Julia Stockwell, yes.
Mary Jane Churchville, yes, accepted. Cool. Okay. Great, you know what I forgot? I forgot to choose minutes. I'm sorry, did everyone see? I have the minutes for January
And I just read February.
and you just read February. Okay, so Julia, I'm gonna do the January minutes first.
Okay, I wish you would, because I don't know what the problem is with the January minutes.
Is
I
there a
think I already
problem?
read them.
Yeah, January 9th,
I didn't bring them.
Claire brought up a problem with, under old business, I think, or new business, where I said something about, I couldn't get it off the internet, I couldn't get it
On
off,
YouTube?
I couldn't get it off YouTube, it was not clear. Claire said something about, under new business, when apparently our attorney was here discussing the CPA, that you questioned something.
Oh,
Something about the
John Barrett?
commission, yeah, you questioned something about the bylaws of the commission, and that's all I could get.
I don't know.
Was it because we are a commission as well as a historic district commission?
Oh, that was in January? Okay, so that was about John Barrett. No, not John Barrett, Bill
Do you
Ryder.
have them with you?
I have the
January
minutes.
minutes?
We do.
I don't.
Oh, no, I don't. I have
I
my.
just-
I got my copy right this second.
Other
Yeah.
When you send this down to me, everyone has to people, just sign it. The approval.
Yeah, we have to sign that.
What happened was Bill Ryder wanted to create
A separate
an
bylaw.
historical.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember the
Society,
meeting.
or not society. And John, and I said, it's already
Together.
together, and I showed him the bylaw that was voted on back in the 70s.
And Alicia also came on and she was here and she said, absolutely, the town voted for the combined.
Who combined
Bylaw.
commissions,
And
right?
John discussed it and he didn't think so. He said it was a G that he didn't think we voted for.
Yeah,
And Alicia said we voted for the entire bylaw, and I saw it, you saw it, I went on and saw the law. And voted for the entire corporation, the entire bylaw, which included the historic commission as well as the historic district commission.
so what's clear, what did Claire do?
I don't know, so I don't know what Claire, so what
What'd
would
you
you
do,
do, Claire?
Do you remember?
I have no idea.
Okay, then can we strike that from the.
Just finish that sentence with, Claire took a nap. No, that was the meeting I had to leave because Imogene was running out of breath.
Oh, that's
But
right.
you did make a comment, because I saw it on you, I saw it, what, last
She didn't
month?
mean it, she didn't mean it.
No, no, well, only
She's out of
because-
oxygen, give her a break.
See, I wasn't here, so I had to rely on YouTube to tell me, and that's not always appropriate, and sometimes I didn't hear what you had said,
Oh,
so. And I wasn't gonna surmise what you said, because I
okay.
did get, I take
we
what you
can
said.
have a
that's it.
motion to accept the January meeting, minutes as submitted. Why don't you make the motion, Claire?
Yeah, I make a motion to accept January's minutes,
January,
January 9th.
yeah,
January 9th minutes.
2025.
Second.
I have 7 votes. Joan?
Carol Mazikas, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Claire Cooper, yes. Finally, Julia Starkle, yes.
Mary Jane Churchwell, yes, accepted unanimously. Okay, we can put them to bed now, correct? January? Phew, I'm pulling this out of every file folder I have.
I can make
Okay,
a motion to approve the Thursday, February 13th, 2025 minutes with just one spelling correction.
okay, well, there's a couple of questions I have on here.
Which one?
Okay, well, you can have discussion.
Yeah.
We have, if we get a second.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, can we discussion?
Let me get this down before I forget, because I have to go back on YouTube, and that's horrible. You know, I have to go on because we've discussed so many things all at one
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
That I have
I
to
do
do
that a
that.
lot.
Yeah, I think you have to, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Look
looking
at the
your
meeting,
numbers.
yeah.
Absolutely. Spelling error, Laura?
This is the 2/14/2025.
13.
Is it 13?
February 13th.
All right, thank you. I don't remember what it was now, I just. What spelling error? What was the spelling error, do you remember?
Oh, Laura found it.
Realtor.
Oh,
Oh. My spelling check, when I had to go in and try, I stopped it that way and I said, no. So I went in and it didn't, it started up like that, so I said,
Okay, just change it.
I know.
yeah.
You can capitalize it and then maybe it will take it.
All right, because they, you know, there's a whole list that they usually give me, but then it gets crazy after that.
Oh, and I think it's Elisa. Is it Alicia or
No, it's
Elisa?
Elisa, just like my.
Like your Elisa?
A-L-I-S-A.
On Struthers, which
How do
would
you
be
spell it?
paragraph 6.
Elisa is A-L-I-S-A.
Oh, I always thought she spelled it C-A.
No.
No, I think
She's right.
All right.
I'm sure.
Because I've always spelled it wrong then. Well, I'm gonna change it anyway, so
Okay, that sounds good.
Is she on?
A-L,
No.
I can't tell.
A-L,
Yes, hello.
Hi, Lisa. How do you
Hi,
spell your
Lisa.
name?
A-L-I-S-A. Lisa A.
I spelled it wrong, Alicia, I'm sorry.
Elisa.
Elisa.
Happens to my daughter.
Oh, does it? Okay, so that's good. Joe.
Part of the open meeting law webinars yesterday was minutes should be done in a timely fashion and not longer than 30 days.
Oh, 30 days.
It's always been that.
Has it?
Yeah, it's not always.
Usually it's 2 weeks when we had the thing.
Yeah,
So it used to be 2 weeks because it's the
but if we only,
newspapers are always coming in, give me the minutes, give me the minutes. I said, you're not done yet, you're not done yet.
But if we have a meeting every month, we'd be in compliance.
once a
correct?
month, yeah.
Okay, so,
Just repeating because they emphasized it 3 times in the webinar.
really?
When,
Okay. Big issue.
But they didn't think about people who only meet once a month.
they don't think about a lot of things.
I know they don't.
All right, so do we have a motion to, oh, we do have the motion, correct? Seconded by you?
Yeah, Jerry keeps
Jerry?
getting counted, Jerry. too.
Okay, so we'll take a vote.
Carol Mazikas, yes.
Laura Schifrin, yes.
Claire Cooper, yes.
I know I should have discussed this in the situation, but if you read the minutes, Laura voted for the homeowner to table the vote, to table the motion. There was no motion made. Except if it was made in January 9th. I meant to bring that up, but there was no motion. But if you see it, it says Laura Shepherd question.
And that was on the video? I
Yes,
didn't look at the video.
yes.
I
it
didn't
was.
look at the video. Lisa, did you look at the
It
video?
wouldn't surprise me if I made the motion.
Well, you said.
But I wasn't
table,
on,
I
but
said
it
there was no
wasn't on.
motion, because I went back 3 or 4
You're
times
telling-
to look to see if there was a motion. There was no motion, unless you were referring to the motion made, 1:30, January 30th. I don't know if you were.
Oh,
referring
to Jake Targ, yes,
Yeah.
because that's what we did, we tabled that.
Yeah, but then I don't know what
No,
she.
that's,
had-
she's okay.
I was
she's
gonna say, I
right.
just didn't realize if we tabled it. Oh, because the motion was back then?
Because
Okay.
we needed to speak, because Claire had the issue on
Yeah.
the street view of the roof, so
Right.
I had to call the solar people and
And I did clarify that in there, but I
Yeah.
just didn't know with that, because like I said, I didn't see any motion ahead of time and when we were discussing that in the beginning, so. when we
yeah,
were
because
discussing,
it was a continuation.
yeah, okay.
We're good.
Should it say that then?
I don't know.
No,
Yeah, because these are in minutes of relative to that particular meeting. So she,
You're
yeah,
saying there was
yeah.
no motion made in February.
but it was for.
The motion was
1:30.
made,
Tabled.
it was
Yeah.
tabled from January.
January.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And
I
then
can
brought
do that,
back
I can put that in there if you prefer, but we've already, you wanna amend the minutes then, with the
If-
motion?
I think it would be a good idea, because then it clarifies if anyone else has a
Who's gonna
question.
amend the motion?
I'll amend my statement in that motion that it was for a prior, it was from the
From January,
January 9th tabled motion.
I think that's good, because then we'll see it all right there.
And I apologize if I did anything confusing.
Well,
How do you think I felt, Laura?
Julie was the only one confused.
I know.
so we're gonna,
Reference to the January 30th meeting.
all right, so
So
we have to
Is that
vote
still
on
take-
the
is that-
amended.
is that still tabled, second by Jerry?
oh, sure.
Okay.
Since I made the motion, I'll accept the friendly amendment. And then if the second accepts the friendly amendment, we can vote on the main motion.
I'll accept it from the amendment.
Totally. I know, it just makes it so much more complicated, okay?
Okay, that's making it easier.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because the other one wasn't
Do your
voted,
thing.
because the other one wasn't voted yet, so that's why the emotion.
Do your thing, whatever you say.
Well,
I'm with you.
well, the motion wasn't voted for that, so I mean, that's what I'm saying, if you do. All right,
Well, a motion was made,
yeah, motion was made, but it wasn't voted.
completed,
Yeah.
but we amended it before it got completed.
Okay. If I put it that way, it seems better, okay?
Okay.
Now. We need a vote.
Now we can vote.
Now we can vote. Then we'll start with you.
Jerome Ziegler, yes.
Laura Schiffern, yes.
Julia
Claire Culper,
Stockwell,
yes.
Julia Stockwell, yes.
Mary Jean Churchwell, yes.
Hallelujah.
Okay, now, I have sent in, and I didn't get a copy of it, a revised a revised notice and agenda to bring up the annual report that is supposed to be submitted in
Oh,
January.
this is the refund.
I need you to make a copy of this, I'm gonna keep it, although you've got to sign it.
Oh, I didn't sign it?
Yes, you did, okay, I'll give it back to you after I make a copy. Okay.
So, I sent this, I don't know, did everybody get it? Okay, no, the,
This is
annual.
revised.
Oh, you got the revised one, okay, good. 'cause I don't
The
have-
annual report.
Perfect, yes. So, I want everyone to take a look at it and I want to put it through the meeting for a vote. To accept it. Wait,
Has anybody else read it?
Well, I just want to read it.
I was gonna say, I didn't get it, so I.
You didn't get it?
Oh, wait a minute, yeah, I guess I
Well,
did get
everybody
it.
was on the email, but not everybody's.
Maybe they
saw
didn't
the
all
email.
have it. Yeah, maybe they all couldn't.
I printed it off when I got the agenda,
And I did get it.
and I did it last night because I had to leave early this morning, so. I had
Did
it.
you fly from the, I said, again this morning?
No,
Oh.
no. I have been in town hall most of the week. So, late night last night, meetings all day on Zoom for different parts of the town. And then this morning I had a day to go pick up somebody in like a nursing home and ran into an event.
Oh.
And it was in Franklin, so I didn't,
Oh, wow.
I think I wrote you that, I didn't know
Yeah,
how
you
I'd
didn't,
make
you
it back, but
didn't know if
it
you
worked
came
out
back, yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah, you came back early.
So I did review it,
Okay.
and if you guys all have it in front of you,
We'll discuss it. You want to start?
I can,
Laura's gonna.
since I read it.
Okay. Laura's gonna- You read it.
So, I mean, it's a great report and, you know, it shows that you did a lot of things. I've underlined a couple of words, if you will,
Okay.
or opinions, if you will, that personally, I don't feel are professional and that I don't feel makes the district
Look good.
look good.
Okay. So you want to point them out for everybody so we can.
Well,
Paragraph.
I'm gonna go with words, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, and in the word, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth line where you have 2024 was a
Yes.
chaotic.
Yep.
Okay, chaotic is like, what are we telling the town? These people are reading the annual report.
Mhm.
So personally, I don't wanna put out where we were in a mess. Chaotic gives you
Implies
that
that there was
implies.
a mess.
Could we use the word busy?
How about challenging?
Oh, challenging.
Challenging is great.
That's a good word. Okay, yep.
I do not like and would not expect that anyone's going to allow to be put into, the annual meeting, that personal agendas are pandering or posturing by certain selectmen prior to abandoning their office midterm, refuse to reappoint. I wouldn't even go there. How
I
would,
disagree with you
why would you put that in a
because it's
report?
what happened and it's factual.
But it's,
It is, and it's on Zoom.
Yep. Is that because
if
I
it's
know,
on Zoom, let them see
I
it
know you
on
have a
Zoom.
relationship there, but I think that's very important because that was very much a problem with this historic district commission. It wasn't to our choosing. It was because of the selectmen at the time. Selectmen are not above the law.
Okay, so I don't think anybody's above the law.
That's right.
But do you think that as a board, you should be presenting this to the town as a picture? People save their annual reports.
Sure, I
Some
do.
people collect them,
Sure.
and they don't live in town and they collect our reports. Why would you want somebody to read something so poor about the town?
Because it's not about the town, it's about the board of selectmen, okay?
Who are not selectmen anymore, and you're using selectmen, you are not using names, so you're calling that of all selectmen.
It said,
There's many selectmen that have been terrible.
it said by certain, she's very clear, it said by certain selectmen who, prior to abandoning their office and term, refused to reappoint longstanding commissioners. I don't think there's any problem with that, that's very factual, Laura. I know you're a
You
selectman, and
guys,
I know
you
that's a
guys can
problem.
vote, I would vote no.
Okay,
I would
Do you
certainly,
want me to remove that
I don't think
subjective
she
language?
should. I don't think you should, I think that's very appropriate for that time. You know what we went through with that.
I do. Okay.
I still would not put my dirty laundry
I
out
don't
in
think that's
print.
dirty laundry. I do not think that's dirty
All right, so
laundry.
we have a difference of opinion,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I wouldn't use the word eventually, select board member Teresa Morris, if you wanna,
Oh, just say select board.
select
take
board
out
member
eventually.
Teresa Morse was
Gotcha.
able to cite Massachusetts
Yep.
general law to prevent the blocking of those appointments. Without, I think you can give a gist of what happened without being derogatory, and that's where I'm coming from. If the board as a whole, majority, you feel that that's how you want your report to be, that's fine, you can submit it to the selectmen, that doesn't mean it's gonna be printed that way. I can tell you that.
Well, I
Some
don't
Okay, wait,
people
know.
will
let's talk
find
about
it
that. Let's talk
totally
about that.
inappropriate.
All right, let's talk about that. Why You mean to tell me that this report will be censored by the selectmen?
I can't imagine that they're gonna do this.
How can it,
Why?
what?
Well, you can talk to them about it. I don't know. You know,
Well, no, you're
I
one of them.
I know that, but it goes through the town, administrators, all the reports go to Sabrina.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, and if anything comes up that looks derogatory to the town, it's gonna be reviewed by the town administrator and the selectmen. If you would like to come and speak to the selectmen regarding your report, I'll find out if that can be done.
Do we have to make an appointment?
Yeah, we're meeting Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
But I was told before we had to make an appointment to be put on the agenda to be
You
able
do.
to speak, okay, which is what we did for this. That's what we did
With
for
the
this.
selectmen?
Yes,
Yeah, 2 times.
that was on the agenda.
Okay,
And I spoke that day, one of the second one, I spoke that day, so I don't think it's derogatory to the town. I think it is a situation that happened that was not good, and I don't believe that we can override something that was not good in the town. They're human beings, they make mistakes, you're right,
yeah,
but sometimes this was a mistake that shouldn't have been made.
but it did.
Yeah, because it was personal, that
Oh,
was the issue, okay? It was
personal to
personally
who?
to Chaz and whatchamacallit, I can't even say his name.
Joe?
Joe, thank you. It was personal to both of them. It
Well,
wasn't, it had nothing to do with the ability of the person to do the job, because it was personal. That's why. So to eliminate that, I feel it would really be an injustice to the town not to show that. No comments, am
There's
I the only
nothing-
one that's
no,
commenting?
there's nothing positive about it. There's nothing positive. Nothing positive will come from those comments.
There's nothing really negative either, Laura.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not, it's what happened.
happened.
It's what happened.
And the fact that this report is in the town
It's in,
report
yeah,
shows that the HDC could come forward and continue.
that's right. Thank you, Laura.
No, that's quite later.
Claire, but it's also on YouTube too, so
Okay.
if it's got negative in the town report, it's negative on YouTube and it should have been edited in there, and you don't edit that,
No.
do you? Okay,
No, you don't.
okay, that's my point,
I just don't think that the
I think you're wrong,
issues have to be repetitive. You don't have to repeat them every place you can.
we're not repeating.
They're
it every
already out
place we
there.
can.
They're already out there. They're not being dissolved.
You ask for a town report, and that's where it goes.
That's where I was coming from. The report was,
Why does a report have to have I would never do a report that had negativity in
I
it.
don't think it's negative, I think it shows
I
fact.
do not see it as negative. I saw it as factual.
Yeah,
Because it dramatically affected a lot of the decisions, because they lost 2 people that had been longstanding members.
Yep.
And with a history that were not allowed to vote. And it threw the rest of the commission into a tizzy because they didn't have the background for some of the votes. It was a very chaotic, challenging is a better word,
Yeah.
probably it's a more positive word, but it was very chaotic for everyone. And what it did to the town is it never should have, it never should have happened.
that's right,
It never should have happened. It happened because of agenda, and it happened because of just what I put in here, pandering and serving. And I think that people should
Pandering
know.
we can
what?
leave out the pandering.
All right, I'll take
We
it
can
out.
leave out the pandering.
Posturing. I
Uh,
mean, you used adjectives that
All
are,
right, I'll take the adjectives out. I agree they're subjective. I will, but there were personal agendas.
They were personal.
They were personal agendas, and I won't
Yeah.
take that out. And I'm very, very, very concerned about the fact that we would be censored by the Board of Selectmen and not have it enter into the,
I've never seen that done before, I don't know. That's
nobody's
what they-
ever submitted a report like this
Oh,
before.
yes,
How do
they
you
have.
know that?
Oh, you
Oh,
go
show
back,
me.
oh, you're gonna make me go back to all the town meetings.
You think
all
that
the-
there've been
I used to do
derogatory
those.
reports?
I used to do those reports. You don't change anything that a person sends in for a report unless it's.
Have you made
technically-
derogatory reports before
I've seen
that
some in
were
there.
submitted?
I've seen
printed?
them when I printed, yes. And don't forget, I worked for the selectmen for 3 years and I did those reports.
Yeah,
So yes, you don't change what they put in for a report unless it's technically wrong, okay? And I've never run across that. We've always printed exactly what they give us. Never,
But why would we paint a picture that wasn't true?
yeah.
Why would you paint the picture at all? Why are you referencing?
Because we're telling us what happened,
It's a report and
it's
it's
telling what happened.
But the reports are already on video. Why do you need to include a negative report?
Well, then why have a town report?
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's
Because
saying.
the rest of your report's great.
But you can see all
But
that.
see, you're seeing it as negative. That's your personal opinion, but the rest of us are not seeing it as negative.
But she's
The
also going
situation
another
was
step.
negative.
I've not been on your,
I know.
She's
Nothing on
also
your-
putting us on notice that we could vote for it, but she's telling me that they,
But they have never edited it before. That,
does that mean they won't?
well, who knows what's gonna happen today? Look at what's happening to the world right now, so. I mean,
have you
what do
already
want?
submitted this?
I did,
without
but I
approval?
had, but Sabrina sent it back to me and asked me to remove the paragraph, and that's why I'm bringing it here, because I don't think I should be removing.
Oh,
that paragraph.
so,
Why did Sabrina
You-
ask you?
yeah,
Remove it.
this
She didn't tell
particular
me.
paragraph. So you guys have already discussed this?
No, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no. I said, she said I needed, she sent me way back in December that she needed the annual report before the
We
end.
discussed it at our last meeting.
Right.
That you were gonna do it and send it
Right.
out.
Well, I did it and I sent it to her. She sent it back to me and said she submitted in a Word format with a certain font and remove that paragraph. And I
Who
said-
gave her permission? She can't do that on her own. She had to be
She
told
did
by
not tell
somebody.
me it was a directive from anyone. It was
Well,
from
it had to be
her.
directed from somebody. She couldn't do that on her own.
I don't know. I have no idea how she came up with it, because I didn't challenge her
You know,
because I
you're
wanted
the-
to come
you're-
here.
She's your clerk.
Yeah,
Did she
she
tell you?
must have thought it was inappropriate.
She
It's not
doesn't
up to
have
her.
any power.
It's not up to her to determine it's inappropriate.
Well, I'll look into it.
I mean, I agree with some of the word changes. I don't have an issue with that, but I definitely
neither
have an
do I.
issue if the selectman or even the town administrator changes the report that's given by the committee.
Well, why don't you, she's already sent you that. And you need to, so now the board is telling you, and so you'll make changes and hopefully they'll be acceptable.
Well, that's
What do you
all I
mean the
can
board?
do.
We don't know who.
You're the board.
Yeah, we're gonna
You're
vote
the
on,
one
we're
that's
gonna
voting.
vote on accepting this or not, correct? Is everyone on that page that we're gonna make a motion to accept it or
Wait,
not?
let me finish reading that paragraph.
Okay.
though. So we're gonna take out pandering, right?
Posturing and pandering. I love the way that sounds though.
How about personal?
How about Teresa Morrison, leave it in or leave it out?
Oh, you mean because no other people are named?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think that's important.
I
Well,
don't mind you thanking her. For
yeah,
saying something
Okay.
nice that happened. I don't have problem with nice that happened. Adjectives defining somebody where you're not,
I like the personal agendas, okay? It doesn't even have a
But that
problem with
was the
personal
truth.
agendas. Huh?
But that was the truth.
I know it was.
well, I
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
what
saying.
your proof is of that, except for whatever actions were at your meetings. But that's what you're
They
saying.
refused to let me talk in a meeting.
Mhm.
I had to go back and get it on the agenda to be able to talk, and I did. And I don't think they liked what I said. I even gave them a letter of list of names. And you know what he said to me? He called me and actually sent me an email. He joked. He sent me an email saying, I don't know how these got this list of names. People were saying to me, how did you get my name? So I got it right out of the town list of names, the registered, the town.
A street website?
Yeah, street listing, yeah, I didn't give them telephone numbers, I told them they had to find those. But yeah, it was for support of the people they refused, that they thought, a few people had told them they were not doing their job, and one of them said he saw one YouTube meeting and he didn't think a person was appropriate. But that person is also on other is in other committees and meetings, so. So if that person wasn't appropriate for our particular situation, why are they appropriate for the other commissions they were on? It really was personal. You were not here at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't, and I
No.
don't know the meeting you're talking about, but I'm happy to look at it.
No,
We did, and we were lied to.
yes, and we were
many
lied
times
to.
by one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm happy to look at that.
Okay, but anyways, we know that you don't wanna approve that one, so.
Um. Again, if you can clean it up and make it a little softer, it's probably,
So I'm
Better.
definitely gonna move challenge, 'cause I actually like that, challenging is true.
challenging.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not-
yeah.
I like personal agendas, like, cause that's really true.
And I don't,
That's all right.
All right, but that's okay.
and
Agree
you
to
can take
disagree.
out. Eventually,
Yeah, I did. I mean, I will, yeah.
and then in the next sentence. Again, it's up to you, but I wouldn't do this. Um,
Well, yeah, cause we're mentioning.
the district wishes to thank
Where are you?
chair, I'm in the next paragraph where
The
you
commission
start
was
with the commission
She
was disappointed.
by the
I
select
crossed
board.
that out. And I said to thank Chair Eno. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the last
You
name.
wanna take out the whole
Okay.
sentence? The commission was disappointed by the select board.
I think that should be left in there.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Well,
But I
I
have no
think it's
problem.
inappropriate, but you can, I have a better feeling about thanking the previous chair for his commitment, knowledge, and long service to the commission. I thought we were the district, but are we supposed to say district and commission?
The
we're-
historic district
We're
commission.
efficient, yeah.
We're a commission of the district.
Okay.
I like that. We can put that, I like that in there, that we thank him for his long service.
Yeah.
You gotta add that.
Yeah, I think
Wait
that's
a minute,
great.
but tell me how it should go.
I would
Oh,
just
you wanna
leave
take
it
out
the
the
same-
fact that they bumped him out because of a personal agenda?
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah,
But-
no.
No.
No, but you can put in, we'd love to.
See, you weren't here, Laura, so that's the
And that
problem.
we were- as
So,
years of-
I'm giving you my input,
Thank you.
my
Okay.
professional
Yep.
opinion.
We wanna
And we're
thank,
giving you our professional opinion.
give me the sentence. We
I'm
wanna
just as
thank.
much a professional too, Laura.
We all wish to thank,
Oh, the commission wishes to thank.
or however you wanna do that,
Okay, the commission wishes, okay.
Chair Eno, can you pronounce your last name? Culpy. For his commitment, knowledge, and long service to the commission, as he will be sorely missed, however you wanna do that. I think that is totally appropriate.
How are you wording it, Mary Jane?
I'm gonna say the commission wishes to thank Eno Copey for his commitment, knowledge, and long service, which will be sorely missed.
And then the only other thing, I mean, it was nice to thank those people at the end. Doing things that you thought were better than what other people had done.
Well, it wasn't a contest, it was the fact that the house next to John Forrest, I don't know what number it is,
258.
258, that was a mess. And that was downtown, and that was Townsend,
Mhm.
the reflection of Townsend.
Right.
And I think that they absolutely deserve to call out. I think that the people who purchased the Wood Farm, which is a historical icon of Townsend.
Right.
And to pull it out of foreclosure and a complete disastrous mess, because it was probably gonna have to be thrown down,
So
torn
is
down.
that in his?
I didn't see that on there. Where you
No,
see?
none- the only houses in the historic district was the
258.
258. The other two are outside the district.
Okay.
The one is the Wood Farm, which is on Worcester Road, which.
I know what it is.
Well, they pulled it out of, well, it'd been sitting there forever and it was a mess. They've done an amazing amount of work on it.
Okay,
And the other house is on
Street.
Highland Street, but on the Townsend Main
The
Street Bridge
extension.
side, you know,
Yeah,
behind.
Behind.
used to be the old, it used to be the
So I'm
old
just
Al
trying
Porter
to see
house.
how the historic commission, I'm trying to make a connection.
Because we're also the historical commission. We are both the historic district commission and the historical commission. We are the combined commission of the two
That's the
different,
bylaw.
a district. So
Okay,
Laura, every house that's in the district that's been assigned, the map. this
right,
is-
but these two are
They're
not in
They're
the
not
district.
in the district, but they're historical buildings.
Okay, so what's considered a historical building? For my knowledge.
Yes,
it-
absolutely.
Wait a minute, I'm
That's
lost.
very
Where
fair.
are the other two aren't mentioned in here? I just,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Turn it around.
I don't have that part.
You don't have the
Before
No,
the
I just have-
signature.
before my signature at the very bottom.
No, I didn't copy that for some reason, okay, that's all right, if you got it in there, that's good,
I don't
Okay,
have a
May.
signature.
yeah.
350,
Oh,
I
I
didn't
see.
sign it, it's,
Leah, Elizabeth Merrill.
yes, and,
So those are historic
Let me just see for a
homes.
second, yeah, because I didn't see that.
And the definition of a historic home for Townsend is?
well, the state of Massachusetts identifies it as anything 50 years or old.
I
Okay.
did get that, sorry. It's
Oh
on the
my
back.
God,
I
I'm
didn't
nearing
look
that.
exact.
I know. Jerry, it's okay.
I just have a question. No requests, concerns, or issues were brought to the attention of the historical. I don't understand what that was.
Now, where is it?
Right after, the commission, was disappointed by the select board, that next paragraph.
Yeah, what did that mean?
After the year two.
No requests, concerns, or issues were brought to the attention of the historical commission.
Yeah, I don't understand what that is.
Historical commission.
Did somebody
Okay,
ask
here's-
a question?
Oh, the historical
It's
commission.
the historical, not the historic
Commission,
district commission.
yeah.
So in other words, no one complained
And
about a historical building
nobody brought
outside
you-
the district.
And nobody brought any.
And nobody brought any issues to us at
All
all.
right,
Nobody wants to be included in the historic district,
right.
who might be a historic home. There have been no actions,
No money to help.
no money,
preserve,
no one brought it up.
Nothing, okay, all right.
It's like a silent.
Has anybody ever asked them to come back in?
When Lisa was, I think when you were on the board prior, people have asked to
Yeah.
come in. They talked about,
How did they get in?
right, how Evans, not Evans, what's the stand? Gary's, Wilkins stand in the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, in front of Willard's house.
Wilson's,
Right,
Wilkins.
some people up there had made some inquiries about whether or not that whole district will, if you take Meeting House Hill Road from the back, where the church used to be, and bring it all the way down to Main Street. Lisa, are you still on?
That's what I was gonna ask her too, because she did mention.
Is that? Okay, yes. Lisa,
Yes.
can you address this issue of other people outside the district who have inquired as historical issues?
Not just being in the historic district commission, but just other historical issues.
So that situation on the top of the hill, somebody inquired as to how to have their home in a district.
They wanted to be?
So that in a district. So that would entail creating a new district. So then the thought was that perhaps it could be called the Fessenden District because
Remember talking about.
the house across the street, those two houses, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I told them what was involved. Some weeks went by. I advised them on how the process would go. That's what a historic commission would do, not a districts commission. Anyway, they came back and said, no, they don't want to do it because they thought it would impede the sale of their home.
There would be encumbrances.
Okay,
Okay,
Alicia, if I can, this is Julia, if somebody comes along and says, we want to make a historic area, which is not maybe in a district, but a historic area, like say Black Rock or the old meeting house on the top of the hill of Meeting House Hill Road, or the Stone Bridge in West Townsend, that would be something that we would deal with as a historic commission, am I correct? Has anybody ever done that with you when you were on the board?
Yeah, the one I just explained to you.
Yeah, but that's a house that wanted to be put in the historic district.
To create a new district.
Yeah.
Anything outside of the district that wants to become in a district,
All right, I'm not explaining
What
myself.
which would require establishing another district.
But
And
I'm not,
that,
Lisa, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm not saying to become another district. I'm saying just to designate a historic place. Like, the Stowe Bridge up in West Townsend is a historic place. Not
Right, and-
historic,
Have you read the State Registry of Historic Places?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
So a lot
No.
of places are listed in that State Registry of Historic Places, but they may not be in a district.
Right,
To
right.
get that designation is a long application process by the owner of a building, property, or place. And it has to get approved by the state.
No,
Doesn't the
we
historic commission help with that?
help, yeah, help.
No,
Oh, why not?
it has to be approved by the state. You can give them the application.
Well, you can help them and show them how they've done it, how it's been done before. That's what I'm saying, Alicia. That's what I thought the commission was.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna need
I know.
we need some education on this in terms of
Okay,
bringing stuff up.
We could-
Example, my house is not in the historic district, but it's as old as.
Yeah, that whole area of
Yeah.
town should be.
Right,
looked at.
yeah.
You
Turnpike
know,
Road
it is
on both sides.
outlaying homes, so.
Yeah.
But doesn't that take a town vote?
Yeah.
To,
Yes,
Create the district,
yeah.
when
yes,
you created,
yes.
it was a
New
town
district,
vote.
yes.
And people could exclude themselves.
Yes,
From
they
it.
could, yeah,
Okay.
she's right, yeah.
So you can't
But
just
in order to
blatantly do it.
exclude yourself, you have to exclude it at the time
Town
of the
meeting.
vote. At the time of the vote, not the next year or so.
Yeah.
At the town meeting.
Yeah.
Because I know people who have done that in other towns.
Get rid-
They've
Opted
attended the
out,
meeting and
opted
opted out.
So, I'm,
Okay. So I think it, I
so
think,
that's just for clarification, so it is confusing, I've got to figure out a way to get this information unconfused. So no
Madam
request,
Chair, if you all read your Historic Districts Commission handbook, there's a clear definition between Historic District Commissioners and Historic Commission.
Oh, isn't that what you kind of have up top?
yes, I tried to put that on, well, I didn't try, I did it, I tried, I made the definitions at the beginning, so people could understand
Yeah.
this HDC, and then there's a historical commission. And that paragraph that you just talked about, the no request, that refers to the historical commission.
Maybe put that line then, if you want to keep it there, put it directly under the definition.
Okay, I see what you're saying, is the first
And
item.
then it doesn't seem like out of context.
Okay.
If you put that right underneath.
Yep.
Before Townsend is a combined,
Historic districts, okay.
just put that statement, do you guys agree?
I don't know where you're doing that, I'm sure.
She's taking it
Right
from.
here, this sentence that
Yeah.
you had just mentioned.
Oh,
No
all right.
request concerns, and throw that bottom sentence to end the historical commission up top. There's a definition up top. The
Or
second
to state there's a definition up top.
no,
Oh.
just move,
No, right
she's
here.
gonna
Oh,
move
the
it.
second-
The paragraph where it says the historical.
Well, I kind
commission.
of like it where it is there though, too.
No, it's gonna stay there.
The
That's
historic
up
commission's
top
stay
is
there?
gonna stay
Okay.
there, but that sentence that explains the no request, concerns, or issues were brought to the attention of the historical commission goes right underneath the definition.
Oh, all right, okay. Oh, I see what you're
Then
saying.
they're
Okay, that
tied
makes sense.
together.
That makes sense, yes. Okay, otherwise it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, it's redundant.
Okay, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Laura.
Until the HDC issue, right,
Kinda
and
makes
then it
sense of
goes into
things.
all the different,
Okay, my other comment was, and I would put that, okay, I have two other suggestions.
Okay.
One has to do with, 35 Fitchburg Road. Okay, maybe all three, okay?
okay.
So after 258 Main Street,
Mm-hmm.
in parentheses, put district,
Oh,
historical
district one.
district one,
Okay,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Then after the other two, put historic
Oh,
homes.
home, okay, got it, yep.
Historical home.
Yep.
Okay.
I like.
Okay, well, all right,
That's
so
more
wait a
of a
minute now. So
definition.
now I'm lost again because that doesn't have the other two on that paragraph.
No,
Yes, it
you don't
does.
have it. Yeah,
You don't
sure.
have it.
Oh,
But it's here.
okay, because yeah, because I have to.
No, here she is, yeah.
So that means
she
you don't have the
wants-
whole
down,
top
oh,
She wants to put, no, she has. So she wants me to put historic district lines.
Yeah.
here, because that's what it is. And then she wants this to be historic.
Well, why don't you, instead of doing that, why don't you just take it and say also under that paragraph? Is that what you're
Well,
trying to
because
say?
I really want this to be a shout out to,
A
a
thank you to
thank you to the
those
people who put,
It still can be there, you know?
No, that doesn't belong on the front.
heard multiple
Historic
requests.
Commission heard multiple requests from residents of the town.
Oh, yeah.
To make improvements to their historic properties. One of the most notable being the restoration of 258. The other ones that are most
They're
notable-
already there.
I
the
see,
ones that-
okay.
The other ones that are most
So
notable
maybe I should
are,
take out the 258
Yep,
at the bottom,
Cause
because
he's already,
I already
Yeah.
did it. Okay.
35, all right?
Yeah.
And-
Okay.
God, I'm not blind. I can make sense once in a
Yeah.
while.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
but the other two would not,
Be applications that we took as historic district, they didn't have to come to us. The Wood Farm didn't have to come to us for anything,
right,
and neither did Highland Street, because they're not in the district.
But you can say that under that same paragraph, that one of the most notable being the restoration, but also under historic homes not in the district, okay?
yeah,
That these two
you can add those two.
have done an excellent job in restoring their buildings.
And then that next sentence can go on the next page.
In total, the HDC.
Yeah, cause then it goes on
And then I
to the other
listed that.
applications, there you go,
Okay.
okay?
Now, if you're gonna put on 258 Main Street, if you're gonna put historic district 1,
I'm gonna do that.
I think all of these
It's already
should
there.
have the historic designations.
Yeah, they're gonna
They're
now
not
be,
in?
they're not,
No,
they're not in
no,
districts.
She's
80
talking
Main
about- she's
Street,
talking about Main Street,
444 Main Street.
Oh, you mean
oh,
up there?
Yeah, so they
Oh,
can
I
see
like
that
that
there's a
idea.
broad,
all right.
I like that.
a broad
Okay.
scope here.
Do you want me to put it in right after the 258 Main Street,
Yeah.
comma, District 1?
HD's.
Are you
yeah.
putting them according to the dates?
How did I do this? I did it like 50 times.
If you're not
Um,
doing it according to the dates, I would put under District 1, these are the following applications, under District 2, these are the following applications, and then.
I think I did take them in sequence, so how they came.
Oh, all right.
That's how they came.
So I don't think
Yeah,
it really
it's not
matters,
quite
I don't
that
think it really matters if it can't, because you don't have dates there, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
So if you do under District
I
1,
think
these
it
are the
is how
following
it came.
applications.
Cause I remember the cemetery and parks one,
You know, that was the most recent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where's,
What?
Naomi's house?
No, that wasn't last year, it was the year before.
Oh, was?
Sorry, Claire.
Oh, that's too bad because of the barn.
I know.
Okay, my other,
So you want me to add district? Add district.
You're gonna add districts to them, or you-
Yeah, I'm going to.
instead of doing it by.
Or I'll do it, I just gotta make sure, so that's.
Because you don't have dates there, so nobody knows when they were actually done, so,
So that's.
but now she has to go by and do it by.
Now I gotta find out what
She did it by date,
district it is.
I know.
in
But
sequence,
if
now
you're
she has
doing
to
it
go
by,
back to
under
see.
District 1, these were the applications, under District 2, these were the applications, under District 3, these were the applications.
I mean, it'll take me a
Okay.
minute to find them, but I'll find them. 44.
But you have to do it anyway, right? Mary Jane, you have to do it anyway. so-
Yeah, to put it in.
And then that also means, because you've now moved these up on the other part, you do not need that last,
Those last three.
you don't need the last sentence. In conclusion.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yep,
And then you can just look ahead.
got it.
And then under 80 Main Street, Townsend
Yeah.
Historical erroneously issued. Why do you?
Well, I have that
erroneously?
there because it was issued as, which one is that, 89, 80?
80.
80?
Yeah.
Oh,
Main
it's
Street
down the
the
bottom.
down bottom
In the
one.
middle of the sheet.
Okay, because when I looked at that application, it said that it was, I don't know if it was accepted, but it said that we didn't have purview over that. But we do have purview over any structure that's put in the historic districts. So it was not appropriately issued. It should have been
I don't see where you're saying erroneous. on that
Right
stuff.
here,
The last, the one before town.
Oh, you went, you're right, you were, because I'm looking at the first two as a
So
problem.
it said they issued non-applicable. But that's not correct. It shouldn't have been a non-applicable certificate. It should have either been applicable or denied. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it is a structure in the historic district. And they said,
So
But it had
erroneously
nothing to do
means
with,
mistake.
wait a minute, no, it
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do with the architecture of the building.
if it doesn't matter because it's a structure in the historic district.
Madam Chair,
I can think,
Yes,
thank you,
please.
Alicia.
Yes?
again, either read Mass General Law 40C under definitions. A structure is a combination of wood or any other materials that are above grade level. So that particular application was deemed, they didn't have purview over it, but they actually did.
Mhm. Correct.
Who is they?
The board, this commission. Which speaks to the fact
It's
that,
not up yet.
what do you mean it's not up yet?
It's not there yet.
Oh, you wanna go there?
No,
Great. Me either.
but
I mean, I would, but I'm already enemy number 3.
So what do you get, I would put that back up, see, that's the thing.
No, I'm gonna be adamant about that. Because that demonstrates that the newer people on the board were not knowledgeable about what structures mean and what buildings. It's not just architect. I mean, they denied.
This was done last year,
Yeah,
in the beginning of the year?
no, after.
It wasn't done when I was here.
It was done when I was here, so it was done from July on.
It was done between
Yeah.
July, no,
It was
excuse me, June, July, August and September.
Yeah.
And October, because
I think it was done around October, I
Yeah.
said September, October.
I thought I was appointed in October.
Well, then it must have been.
you
done
were
earlier.
done before
You're not on the
your
board.
term.
Before my, before the election, I was here
Yes,
at a meeting.
but I think it happened in
October.
July or August.
yeah, it happened several months prior.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Jock came before the board to do it. Can I ask Alicia a question?
Sure.
Alicia,
Lisa.
did you, Lisa,
Lisa?
are you still there with us?
Yeah,
Hi, did you say the structure had to be made out of wood?
Or
Any-
anyone,
So- I'm going to directly refer to Mass General Law 40C under
Yeah.
the section called definitions. The definition of a structure is a combination of wood and any other materials.
Any other material, okay.
Any other materials, I think it says other than wood, something you should read it, that is above grade level. That means up above the ground.
Okay, got it. I just wasn't sure.
Now,
I
here's
just
an
heard-
example of that. At some point prior, correct me if I'm wrong. You weren't the president, were you, Claire, when they wanted to put bicycle racks on the town common?
Oh, yeah, I was here.
Because that's a historic district
Right,
and that is a
the town
structure,
common.
correct, and they said, and it was voted no. Because
But
it
that's
wasn't
removable.
appropriate.
But that's removable. Now we're going back.
No, wait,
to-
whoa, once you attach stuff to the real estate, to the land, it becomes real estate. You gotta watch that, that's something you gotta really watch, because once you attach. If you dig a hole and put a concrete base down.
Oh, all right, because most of the ones I've seen of bicycles, they're just placed there. There's no
Oh,
concrete
no,
base or anything.
that's a whole different.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, no, if it's removable, that's fine.
that's right.
But if it's a structure that's attached to the ground,
All right.
it becomes,
So with that, I can understand.
yeah,
But most ones I've seen are not attached really.
right. I don't know what, I wasn't on at that time, so.
Okay, so,
Madam Chair, just for clarity, the bike rack thing also brought complaints from the people who have to care for the common, that it would be pushed around, plowed around, get pushed out of the way, in the way, blah, 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 and it was voted down, period, end of story.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
That was great. Yeah, that does make sense. So it wasn't a permanent fixture that they were talking about.
no,
So, okay.
so we're putting in the report that the previous board made an error. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the context of the.
Is that what you want to say, is call out the previous board for making an error?
I don't have a problem with that.
But I'm saying that I didn't really say it like that. I just said that
Why can't you just say that,
but the certificate was issued in error.
That's, yeah.
Tell me what you're having trouble with. Erroneously, you find that as a negative word?
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
Okay, so.
we have a difference of
I
opinion.
know, well, I know between negative and positive.
Yeah,
you're
no,
right.
all right, let me just think of this.
I think his certificate was
Should I
issued in
say
error.
the non-applicable certificate was issued in error? Would that
That's fine
sound
with
better?
me.
But you're making a judgment that a board made. You're calling out an error that a previous board made
Can I tell you why I
when
did
you were
that?
not involved in the debate of whoever was on the board.
No, but I'm just reporting on what was done,
That's right.
and it
It's
was
factual.
wrong.
Does their certificate say this is an error?
No, it was issued erroneous.
A new issue was
Lisa,
given.
can you help?
A new issue was
Cause I'm the
given.
dummy here.
Well, Laura, a new issue was given. That's, a new application was given to cover 80 Main Street, so.
But the reason I want to I want this to be memorialized is because if there's anything in the future that somebody has an issue with that clock, I want them to know that it was not done according to the historic district rules.
Okay. Do you know how many things are done by the zoning board? That the chair actually sits there and says, just because we've given permission before, doesn't mean you're gonna get permission again. It does not mean we repeat our errors.
Right.
But they don't report that. I mean, the action took place.
Well, maybe they should.
The action took place,
Maybe.
and I'm telling you, these people for 30 or something years have done this way. A board made a decision. Every situation that comes before you is different, correct?
Right.
Different applicant, different issue that you're addressing. And sometimes you may go one way, or other times you may go another way, and that is the board that made that decision. It had to be a majority of the board that made that decision, if not unanimous. And I don't know, I'd have to go back and see that, or so would you. Did you investigate
Oh,
how
believe me,
that was done?
I've been living this for the past year.
Well, the logic,
So,
That
logic-
one motion?
the logic's not there though, and like, I think the problem is that it's so far separated from the other two up here.
oh, because it
That it
can't,
can be,
well, but that was the whole thing.
I know.
That would, see,
but that's what's confusing about it, so.
and if you
can-
don't know the history,
But that's what I'm saying, you can say it in whenever we did the.
I
other
don't want to
one.
move it up to the top.
No, it's not part of the top.
It's not part of the top.
So you're gonna go in a chronological order then? That's what you're
Well,
saying?
that's what I did.
That's
Yeah.
what these are.
I know,
Yeah.
but I was saying.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
to change it district wise, yeah.
Yeah,
But no, the 80 Main Street clock came well after 80 Main Street other two issues.
so apparently we must have.
So what I
issued- we
wanna
must have
say,
issued another
largely
certificate
attended
then
meeting.
to,
Why do I think
Or
I
after-
remember that?
I don't
What,
know,
the
I wasn't
clock?
at the meeting.
About the clock?
I wasn't at the
Why
meeting.
do I think I remember that?
I
There was a
remember
full
too,
house here.
I thought we approved it.
I thought it was
You
approved.
did approve it, but you approved the wrong certificate.
On whose say?
On
On the
board
fact
said,
that the historic district absolutely has purview, which you put on the sheet. Oh, wait, you know what?
Yeah.
I know I don't have it here.
So if we did this.
But wasn't it the district commission, wasn't it this board that was meeting and did this? Yeah, because it's in your report.
Yeah, so if we did
Yeah.
that, so somewhere along the line, we changed it then for, it was appropriate, we haven't changed it yet, it's still an existing.
No, it's issued, it was issued that way.
We didn't
like-
change it?
Madam
Was-
Chair,
What, excuse me?
yes, I do believe they issued it non-applicability.
Yeah, we
Based
did.
on based on their statement where they said it was not in their purview.
Correct, and it wasn't
And
in
that
person.
was incorrect.
Correct. Correct.
So we have not done anything with it since then, even though it was.
No, because nobody's raised it.
Well, you
Nobody's
raised it.
Well, I raised that, well, all right, so I guess I raised it, maybe I should revisit it.
I know. So maybe we need to.
No,
Thank you.
you signed it, and
No, I
they
didn't.
have a signed certificate of non-applicability because they signed it.
So that means it stays forever. We can't go back and revisit that.
That was a board decision, right?
Right, but it was a time, Laura, you were not on the board at that time.
But I think I was in the audience for the night of the cloth.
Oh my God, I love that.
No, the bottom line is, due to the lack of understanding of the definition of a structure, the board that was sitting at that time declared it not in their purview, which was incorrect.
But
They signed the application of non-applicability, which gives the applicant the right to go and do what they wanted to do and erect the clock.
Okay, I think I remember that meeting.
Yeah, so apparently, Alicia, we did not revisit that and correct that error, right? Can we do that?
No. You reviewed the application, you declared it non-applicable by stating it wasn't in your purview, which was incorrect,
Yeah,
and you
But-
signed the application and sent the applicant along their way.
yeah, that's all right. So now it stands. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Correct, but in the future, if anyone ever challenges it, we have to say it was incorrectly done, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's what
Because
Alicia just corrected.
And I see where Laura's coming from. She's saying that it's not grandfathered because it was done.
Yeah.
I get that part, but I just want to make it abundantly clear that it's wrong.
Well, that's all right.
It was a wrong decision.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
but-
just state it the way that Alicia just did. That was fine. That was done in error due to the board being new or whatever.
Well,
I
I
can't
don't-
remember what you said, Alicia.
Alicia, are you saying that, I call her Lisa,
Yeah.
are you saying that, you think that it should be stated in the annual report as erroneous?
Absolutely, it's history.
Thank you, Alicia.
Okay, I do not agree with the
Well, maybe you don't like,
terminology.
but is it the vocabulary word erroneously? Because I'll change it to be
How
less,
about an error?
all right.
Is an error negative for you too?
Well,
About misunderstanding.
I like that better, so.
Misunderstand.
I don't have a
And-
problem with misunderstanding.
And I would not
Let me read
put
that.
it there. Okay, so issued non-applicable certificate
Certificate.
for placing clock in front of the Harbor Church building. And then as a note,
Okay, all
as
right.
a note,
Okay.
please note.
Yeah.
The current board may have made an error in judgment due to information they had. Or how they interpreted the information they had.
But it's not a may, they did.
Yeah,
It's not,
yeah, and I think it's too lengthy too. I
it's
mean,
not
what
as
you're
if
doing.
you.
Yeah, I think it just made an error in judgment for that.
Okay.
They
certificate.
say
So then I-
erroneously issued as a note.
As a note, then I would put,
Issued in error.
I don't even think you have to do that. I think you just have to say in error. Let me see. The board issued a non-compliance certificate, and I think that's really self-explanatory.
In error.
So if
See,
anybody
I-
looks at that in the future, they're gonna say, all right, well,
But
we
I
have to
am
revisit-
worried about the future. That's where my head is. creating
I know
this.
your head is-
No, it is. It's
Well,
a-
don't create a problem until it occurs. You gotta address the, you
Oh,
gotta
I'm
address
one
the
of those
problem when it
proactive
occurs.
people.
Yes.
So-
In
In
error is determined by a succeeding board. Was not determined by the board that made the vote.
No, but it was a fact because it's based on.
Was the fact brought up that night?
Yeah, we brought it up several times.
Oh,
that-
did you?
Yeah, we,
That
remember,
night?
we were not sure, there was an error, and we went back and forth. Because Susan was there, I wish she was here today, she was trying to get back here today, but, yeah, because she brought it up that she felt that that it should be addressed as a regular, approval by the board, and we all looked at it, and then she finally decided, no, it's really not applicable. I thought you were here then too.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
you
Lisa.
could make this very simple. Simply state the date of the application on blah, 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 whatever, an application, whatever. Just state the date of the application.
I don't understand you.
No, I don't understand it either.
So you're trying to describe what
So-
happened and you could just simply say on and go back and find that application for the clock and take the date it was approved and state it as on that date, the commission, whatever, however you want to word it, blah, blah, blah about the clock. Instead of trying to figure out who was there, who wasn't there, just put the date of what date that application was approved.
That's not what I was trying to express.
I understand what she's saying.
An application, what are our applications? Of, appropriateness. An application of non-applicability was approved as opposed to the proper certificate of appropriateness.
But I understand what Alicia is saying too, is that if you put the date down, if they want to go back and look at it and review it, then there's your history, there's your future. You know, they go back and look at that application.
I see that. I'll put the date, but I like what
Am I
you're
right,
saying.
Alicia? Is that what you were
I
saying?
like what you're saying, Claire. Say that again.
She
A
listened.
certificate, a
Uh-huh.
non-applicable certificate for placing the clock in front of the Harbor Church
Was issued
was issued
in lieu of?
instead of a certificate of appropriateness.
And I will put the date in. Just
I'll go with that.
certificate of appropriate.
Rather than what was issued was a non-applicable certificate for placing the clock.
So I'm taking it out.
That way, it'll
And,
serve for the future. So if people want to go back and look at that and see what was said, you know, and see what was done, then they can go back and look at the actual.
Yeah, it was either July or August.
Either you put issued non-applicable certificate for placing the clock in front of the Harbor Church building instead of a certificate of appropriateness.
Yeah,
That sounds good too.
That's perfect.
It was not a replacement.
we didn't say that.
What, I don't
It
know
doesn't
which-
say- I
Lori
didn't-
just said replacement. It was not a replacement of a clock.
The certificate was it.
Certificate
Placing.
In placing, yeah.
Says placing.
in place of a certificate of appropriateness is what I said.
Here's what I'm putting. On whatever date it is. A non-applicable certificate for placing clock in front of the Harbor Church Village was issued instead of a certificate of appropriateness.
That's good.
Okay, because that's what happened.
That is absolutely what happened. Yeah, okay. So we took out the negative word
Thank you.
erroneous. Okay. But I get it. So the date is gonna indicate what, if somebody goes back, your history is based on the date. I get it. Okay. Because you don't want to say that people didn't know what they were doing. Okay.
We didn't.
I know, but
I mean, how many clocks certificates.
I mean, we're
to get.
human, we learn too, I mean, and each,
Oh, no,
sometimes there
you're
are
learning all
issues
the
that come
time,
up.
yeah. All right, any other changes that you would like to talk about? Make?
I don't have any,
Okay.
I mean, I'm
thank you.
so
That's
opposed
something to
to
do.
anything.
A lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, thank you, it's not easy to do,
All right,
but believe me, I used to do the reports.
thank you very much. So can I have a motion to accept with the
Changes.
I'll make a motion to accept the annual report of 2024 as
With the edits,
with the changes as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Julia? Any further discussion or any more discussion? Hearing none, may I have a vote, please?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, so that's fair. Abstaining,
Blair Culpy, yes.
Julia Stockwell, yes.
Mary Jane Churchwell, yes. Okay. Now, I will get those, I will make the changes and I'll send it out to everybody so they can just know that,
Thank
you
you.
know. Okay, that being done, we're gonna do the postcards, but I'd like to table that if we can because it's getting late.
Yeah.
You know, I be here so
Did
long.
you have anything for that? Okay. Just
Well, you
checking.
were supposed to put, you
I
were
know,
supposed to
but I
accommodate, I know.
I know, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
but I
I just wanted to make sure you were gonna you were gonna add all the changes that we suggested.
correct, and then I was gonna actually put it on the card and print it out so that you could see it.
Oh, wow.
Right, but I just didn't get to
Is
it.
it still the
Okay.
little,
It's a postcard.
the small postcard, it's not the big
No,
You
one?
want to send us before you print it?
I will, if you want me to
Okay.
do that, yep. Does anyone have any new business?
I know. Just be thankful we don't have a budget.
No, we do have a budget, but we didn't spend it yet. Did you get your reimbursement, Julia?
No, that was one of the things I was gonna bring up. I still haven't got, I was gonna stop and.
How does that happen?
Well, you have to put a,
We did, you did, she put it,
an invoice in to,
yeah, you
Katie?
remember, cause Kathy came in with it and had you sign it and showed you what to do with that,
Right, right.
okay?
Yep, I remember that.
Kathy Spoford?
Yes,
Yeah, Kathy Clark.
so should I go up, I'll go up and check with Katie and see what the status.
Yeah, well, I stopped to check with her last time, of course, she was not there when I went, so,
Oh, so, well, I'll pop in.
I know.
Not tomorrow.
I know, that was one of the things I was gonna bring up, that I didn't get with the other reimbursement, so.
All right,
What, by the way, what do we have in a budget?
$1,000. And it's really to cover
Mailing?
mailings, because, for example, I had to do the hearing for the Jake Tard, so I had to send all
Are you
those.
in the omnibus budget? I'll have to look.
No, I don't think we are, Laura. I think,
So where's your money? Who's got, and where is your money set aside?
I think in the Board of
Or
Selectmen.
our money set aside?
Yeah, I think it's in the Board of Selectmen budget,
Okay.
I think, but I don't think it's in the omnibus. Because they were talking about that during the summit, if we were gonna put it in or not, and someone said no, because if you don't use it, you can ask for it next time on a warrant article. Is that not
Don't
sound
ask.
right? Oh, don't ask,
We're in
Why
big
was it-
trouble.
oh, don't ask for the money?
No, I
Oh.
said, I don't know what's going
Oh,
to
don't ask,
happen.
you don't know what's going, okay.
Who
So,
knows what's gonna happen, period,
I
let me
mean,
put it that way.
It's gonna be really bad.
It's gonna
If
be
the
really bad,
override,
period.
yeah, if the, but let me tell you something, so if you wanna chit chat with everybody out there. Right now, because of what happened at the special meeting.
Mhm.
And the fact that we have no free cash left
Right,
and,
I knew that was
We-
coming,
yep, and everything that the school needed is absorbed by the town's budget. We now have to go out for approximately $1.3 million override on the ballot. In order to cut the budget to where we still only need, let's say, 411,000, we have to close town hall for 1 day a week everywhere. We have to cut hours. We have to cut, it's just, and every budget has to have, a cut in their office supplies. That was our first go around. The second go around would be if we don't get the 400 and trash goes away. So you're all gonna pay probably $600 a year for your trash. So figure out how much
I
you're,
won't, but that's okay.
okay, why, what do you do?
I don't have that much trash.
Oh, but in order to get, where would you put your trash?
I would contract with somebody, but there are other contractors out there.
Yeah, so contractors are $40 to $60 a month.
Mhm.
And they don't pick you up once a month or every other month. You have to pay every month, even if you're putting out one bag. That's the way it goes. So say
You'll
$600.
get more contractors that'll come out that do something else that'll adjust.
Okay, well, I think everybody has to make this decision for
Right,
themselves.
Right,
So you're either gonna pay $400 or $500 more than, let's say, for a year for your trash.
Mhm.
And that's gonna be gone. But if you go with the 1.3, it includes the trash. So you don't have to pay the $400 or $500 or $600.
This is the override?
In the order, if you go for the full override, it will
Point
include.
of order, Madam Chair.
All right,
Yes,
you don't wanna hear it, so it's okay.
No, I
Yes.
don't see on your agenda where the
Yeah, we were
override is listed for discussion or the trash. It's not on your
Well-
agenda.
Okay, we
No,
can,
like-
we can close the meeting and then talk among ourselves then, maybe not go on the
Well, we
thing.
really can.
Why?
It's an open
Yes, we
law
can, because it's
violation.
not a board issue. It's not a board issue.
Yeah, but we can't talk.
Why can't
Yes,
we?
we can.
Well, yes,
Because
we
we're
can,
more
it's
than a quorum of this board, open meeting law violation.
not if
Well,
we
we're
close
not
the
talking
meeting.
about anything in the HDC.
It doesn't matter. We are board members and we're in the same room and we're talking. Believe me, I just went through the webinar yesterday.
I did too, I went through it last week, I did take
let's
that.
dissolve the meeting anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I make
okay.
a motion to dissolve this meeting.
I second. It's
May I
at
vote, please? What time is it? Yeah, what time?
What is the time?
4:36 PM.
So. May I have a
Laura
vote,
Schiffer and
please?
I,
Like, hopefully, yeah.
Join
Yes.
the circle,
Mary Jane Churchway, yes.
thank you very much. We're adjourned.
Thank you.